Speedvision World Challenge GT Championship concludes today with its 10th and final round here at Road Atlanta. Hi, everybody. I'm Greg Kramer, joined by Derek Daly. Andrew Marriott will be down in pit lane. We want to take you back to some highlights, which actually unfolded a couple of days ago right here at Road Atlanta in the 9th round. A great race unfolded. First of all, check this out. Derek Bell, on the strength of a great qualifying effort, gets a run on Michael Galati and takes the lead from Galati. It was a good drag race. However, Bell let him by, and he wanted to make sure that Galati was able to score every conceivable point in trying to clinch the championship. Later in the race, Peter Cunningham dives underneath Bell and picks up the 2nd spot. The battle, 7th through 13th, was this close. The action absolutely intense throughout. And these drivers never separated by much more. Now watch this. Derek Bell, not done yet, swings out, gets back around Petey Cunningham and picks up the 2nd spot. Boris said, thinking about it as well, couldn't quite get through. However, Bob Miller, tough day going after Rookie of the Year, ends up with some contact. Second to the last lap, Bell gets squirrely up in the turn 3 section of the track. Cunningham around the outside and into second. Right there is the completion of the pass, but when it ended, Michael Galati got the win in the Audi, and with it expanded his points lead on his way to a championship in GT to go with the 3 he's already won in Touring. Here's a look at those points coming into this final round there.
And it's not over yet. Peter Cunningham knows exactly the strength of the Audi, so this afternoon he's going to try and pull one over him as you look down through the top 10 of the championship.
And those last 2 here, 9th and 10th, that has implications, of course, on Rookie of the Year. Here it is, Bob Miller by only 5 over Justin Marks, Bobby Sack, Tim Weens, Carol Hollfelder a little bit further down the order. But that battle is well and truly alive. And the battle for the Manufacturers' Championship can't be any closer. Porsche comes in with a 1-point lead over Audi and a 4-point lead over Acura. Extremely close. Let's take a look at this glorious Road Atlanta facility, Derek.
It is a great racetrack. Fast, difficult, combination of medium, high, and very high-speed corners. 4 good braking zones mix into great elevation changes. Turns 12 leads onto the front straight. It's very, very fast downhill run.
Very quick track on the whole here and very challenging indeed. Let's take you to the starting lineup. On the inside of the front row, Peter Cunningham, 7th pole of the season, 21st of his career, ties a record. Galati alongside. In row 2, Derek Bell matching that 3rd place qualifying effort. Jeff McMillin, defending champion, sits in 4th. On row 3, Phil McClure has that Aggregate Industries vet absolutely singing. Dave Farmer, after a huge crash in round 9, rebuilds it. He's made the grid. Boris Said and Justin Jackson fill out the 4th row. The Mustang and the Porsche. In the 5th row, it is Mike Fitzgerald and Eric Kern having a great weekend in his KAC Technologies Corvette. A little bit further back in the pack, well, let's not forget Johannes van Overbeck.
Yeah, setup problems all weekend, just not able to get the speed from that Porsche. Look at Jimmy Adams, Bob Miller, familiar names. As you move down to the pack, you see people like Bobby Sack. Engine problems, didn't get a good qualifying run. Look at Paul Brown, last-minute addition in that Chevrolet Corvette.
Check in with Andrew.
Well, Mike Galati only has to finish 10th to clinch his first GT championship, but also there's the manufacturer's title at stake. Michael, you've got to go for it, haven't you?
Yeah, we definitely have to go. We got to play smart, but we still got to go. I mean, it's you want to stay ahead, you want to stay out of trouble, you don't want to get caught up in the back. It's another race. That's why I take it, but I got to try to win my championship and then try to bring home the manufacturer, which is very important to us.
At the moment, Porsche win that or lead that by just 1 point. Michael doing the business for Audi, trying to win his first ever GT title. And let's go over to Mr. Peter Cunningham here. Peter, well, at least you know what the track conditions are like.
Yeah, it's a little greasy out there. I know a couple secrets maybe that these guys don't. But yesterday, I thought we could maybe sneak into turn 1 and have something for them. But obviously that's not what happened. And those guys ran away with things for a while there. But today is another day, and we'll see what we can do with those guys and just hope that the RealTime NSX holds together and has a clean race.
You got nothing to lose. You just got to go for it flat out.
That's true. No matter what happens, even if I break on the outlap here, I can't finish worse than 2nd. And I made sure to remind Michael that, and so hopefully that'll play to my advantage.
Pleased you brought the NSX out of those mothballs?
Oh, yeah, that's such an awesome car, and We had good luck last year, but we had a lot better luck this year. And Andrew Armistead, you know, no matter what happens today, Andrew Armistead deserves a lot of the credit for this. He makes this car what it is. I just have the privilege of driving it. And the whole RealTime crew. I mean, they're dedicated, and they just love doing what they do, and I get to have all the fun.
So does P.D. Cunningham. He loves doing what he's going to do. He's doing what he does best right now.
And playing the psychological trump card, or at least attempting to.
I was looking to protect what I have and to achieve some modest growth. I knew I lacked investment skills, and I knew I needed professional assistance. Prudential gave me a good feeling that this guy or these people don't have an agenda of their own. There's a lot that I don't understand, but that's where I really lean more heavily on my advisor at Prudential. I'm impressed by their thoroughness, and I'm impressed by their detail. I think I found the right people.
What is the essence of performance? Speed? Traction? Control? Or is it exceeding your own expectations? The Kumho Extra Supra 712, world-class quality and value. Kumho, way to go.
Now this same feeling is available in a car. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Introducing the all-new Mazda Protege 5. Yeah, zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same feeling. Zoom, zoom. New form. Yeah, zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom, zoom, zoom. Hey, mom. Yeah.
Good gas turns bad fast, and bad gas means trouble. So will your engine start next year? It will with Sta-Bil. Sta-Bil keeps fresh gas fresh. That's why 70 engine and equipment manufacturers recommend it. Will your engine start next year? It will with Sta-Bil. Sta-Bil keeps gas fresh for quick starts.
The Speedvision GT Championship is brought to you by Mazda and by Prudential Financial, a rock-solid leader in financial services. Choose Prudential Financial to help you grow and protect your wealth.
Well, Speedvision viewers, here we come to the start of the last round of the Speedvision GT Championship here at lovely Road Atlanta. Perfect driving conditions. The track's a bit slippery after the long race yesterday, but it looks, at least it's not raining and it's nice and cool. We're going to see what we can do. Guys have done a wonderful job on the cars. It's a great day to have the final race of the year, and I'm really looking forward to it. I might not say much for the first few laps because I could be very preoccupied. Nonetheless, speak to you during the race. Back to you, Dak, in the booth. Bye.
Obviously, he's hoping to better his third place, first podium finish of the season in the events that are about to unfold here. However, we understand that there is a last-minute development. Let's go back down to Andrew.
Well, drama here even before the race has started, because the number 15 car, Eric Curran, who had such a great race on Friday, up to fourth place in that private machine of his in that Corvette. He came down pit lane, he turned sharp left, and he drove straight to the paddock. Never stopped, obviously got some major problem, so Eric Curran will not take the start.
That is a very sad development. There's the green flag. The grid is clear, and remember, it was the traction of the Audis that played a key role yesterday. Watch for the lights to go out, and our final race of the championship is underway. Once again, Bell takes the big move. Galati launches from the outside. This time, though, Cunningham able to fend off Bell into the first turn, and he holds on. There was McClure and McMillin side by side, already scrapping for fifth, and then McClure, as a matter of fact, trying to close up even more. Couldn't get it done.
I think that was a perfect start by Peter Cunningham, because Derek Bell got a great jump, but Cunningham matched it. Oh, we got a big one.
Already an incident out there. That's Mark Dixon and Walter Swick. Swick going around in the blue BMW.
Remember, Cunningham and Derek Bell told us the track is more slippery today than it has been all weekend, because the Petit Le Mans ran for 10 hours yesterday.
And the touring cars have also been out, brought some of that red Georgia dust up on the track as well. So there's Galati, Cunningham behind. Cunningham shows the nose. Galati shuts the door, heading into turn 7. Now the long, long run. We heard Galati say that he's got to go for it. He's got to run hard to help Audi with the championship. But if Petey really starts leaning on him, you think Galati's going to let him go? Second will more than secure a championship.
The championship for Galati is more important than the race win, as is the manufacturer's championship for Audi. So I don't think Galati will take any chances. And PD has nothing to lose here, and he's going to force the issue. He hits him. He hits him.
They bump and grind a little bit as we're on board with Bell. Bell going to now get a run. He could get a run and go underneath Galati here.
Well, there's your move before the end of the first lap. Cunningham comes down, rubs paint with Michael Galati, and comes by officially to lead on that first lap.
Now that white, that's just the chalk that they use to mark the starting spots. On board Justin Marks. Oh, James Sofronas, big hook slide. Marks in the middle of that battle for Rookie of the Year gets around, I think. But Sofronas has got the wall over by the support pit exit, and looks like he's whacked it hard enough to break something.
You know what? He stuck the outside wheels on the curb, and from then on, he was out of control. It was only a matter of time, it looked, till he actually made hard contact, which he did.
Meanwhile, there's Cunningham out front. Let's go back and take a look at that pass.
In the brake zone, Cunningham comes down, look, oh, rubs off him right here, hits him a second time, and then Galati, as we expected, doesn't want to have any part of that fight, lets him go. But that is as aggressive a move as we've seen from Cunningham this season to get that lead position.
Well, I would think it was twofold. One, Peter wants every point he can get, leading a lap, leading the most laps, the whole thing. But also, if he keeps Galati from leading a lap, he steals a point from Galati. That could be equally important.
Yeah, that's right. Jimmy Adams on board with him now. P13. He started. He has moved up behind Johannes van Overbeek. Here's the Porsches. Three of them looking for the same piece of ground here.
Fitzgerald goes big defensive. And look at Van Overbeek, Adams attacking as well, and right in front of them is Justin Jackson. So another Porsche thrown in the mix. Adams getting out of the chicane very well. I think Van Overbeek sensed that, kind of moved right just a smidge, and Adams decided not to kill the momentum and just stay back in line.
On board with Van Overbeek, running in 9th. The Porsches, we expected them to be a little bit quicker here this weekend, but just not quite on the pace as you go on board with Bill Cooper. This is an older car, Greg.
Yeah, this is actually, it's the old ZR1 that he started off when he hooked up with Pirate Racing and Les Stanford Chevy. This car, oh, right front, that's Bobby Sack, the teammate to Cooper. Sack now driving the new car, the C5, and you mentioned he's been having some engine problems and never even got a qualifying time. But Cooper, that car goes right to the Corvette Museum when this event is done.
Last year's champion. Last year's champion. You saw him make that big correction as he went over the curb. Somebody else off the racetrack.
That was Peter Tonelli driving the Toyota, and looks like he just didn't get it turned down to the apex in turn 4 as it falls into the S's and straight lined it. Probably the smartest thing to do. Don't try and get back. If you loop it, you're going to hit something, and he just rode it out and brought the car back on track. Meanwhile, there is your top 5 with 3 of 27 laps complete. Here's 6 through 10.
Stop them at 5th Street. Maybe we can see the back.
The 911 Carrera. Drive one or admire one.
Enjoying this race? Wish you could be on the track with them? The Sports Car Club of America is the only path to take you from the sidelines straight into action of America's fastest growing spectator sport. From street cars in parking lots to race cars on some of the greatest tracks in America. The SCCA can give you the training necessary to participate as an official at world-class road racing events. For more information, call the Sports Car Club of America or on the web at scca.org and trade your dreams for experiences.
It starts here at one of 20 tracks across North America with over 25 years of teaching experience. You could go on to race. You may even race professionally and move up the motorsports ladder. Like Juan Montoya or Michael Andretti, you could even become a star. But it all has to start somewhere. How far do you want to go?
Catch the hottest machines USA ever produced. Ground pounders, beauty queens, and killers in disguise. Because nothing is more American than muscle car. American Muscle Car. Wednesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Welcome back to Road Atlanta. Peter Cunningham leads. There is second spot, Michael Galati. But look at this. Boris Said down the inside, makes the pass on McClure and picks up the fourth spot. Said that AER, Authorized Injury Manufacturing Mustang, gets the spot. Now, McMillin going to try and take advantage of maybe a little hiccup in momentum by McClure. Not quite enough. You got to get that done a lot sooner, almost under the bridge, if you're going to try it in 12.
You do, really. As we watch on board with Jeff McMillin, Boris Said has been spectacular. See him right ahead here. The Mustang, one car ahead. It's been spectacular all season long, but he's never put full races together. Something always happens, usually mechanical, but Boris Said in an older
look at
car.
that move by McClure. Boris left. I'm sorry, Derek. He left an opening. Oh, and now McMillin hits. Boris may be in trouble.
He's has to be in trouble.
Huge save by McMillin.
Has to be in trouble. Checked up. McMillin, the champion from last year, hits him. Almost loses control himself. But Boris said no sooner did we say the words when he drops out again.
Remember his line in Texas when a wheel came off the car, and he said, apparently I just drove the wheels right off, but it's been that kind of season. Fast, spectacular, no results, and there is Boris parked and done. On board Adams now, that's Fitzgerald going around Van Overbeck and makes it work into turn 6.
Jimmy coming now from that 13th starting position, not as quick as we expected him to be. But we mentioned earlier, the Porsches not on par here with the NSX or the Audis, yet they're all in a line on the racetrack, all covered by a blanket. Look at Van Overbeck.
Going back around, or at least attempting to get around Fitzgerald here, side by side, and Adams looked like he was going to go with Van Overbeck as a drafting partner and try and force him by, but not going to work. And Fitzgerald now under braking. Oh, look at this. Van Overbeck runs wide, but had enough speed, but now he goes wide. Fitzgerald cuts back underneath, and Adams, he's going to get them both. Adams looking, oh, and it's full course yellow, and Adams saw it. There was a sportsmanship move. He saw that he had attempted that move under yellow, Derek, and backed right off.
Yeah, but you know what? I think the two boys ahead of him saw it before he did, and they backed off, which made his almost pass look even more spectacular.
Well, with the excitement unfolding, the laps going by in a hurry. 7 of 27 already done. We'll be right back.
Mike and Ben have Ultimate TV from Microsoft, so on Sundays their place is Party Central.
Protect your bishop.
They can watch and record 2 channels at once.
Hit pause. Go to the other one.
So they don't miss any of the madness and mayhem.
Did you see you put the king in jeopardy?
They can even do replays in slow-mo.
See, now he's touched his piece. Once you touch your piece, you got to use it.
The DirecTV receiver with Ultimate TV. It also works with football.
You know, you don't have to be alone.
As the nights get colder, we know how to warm you up.
Please, just pick up the phone.
It will be time well spent. Just you and me, together.
For the hottest, adult-only conversation. Don't be all alone when you can be together with us. Call 1-800-500-TALK. Just $1.99 per minute minimum.
Right, I know. Cash only.
The all-new A4. Suddenly, every ride's exciting.
Come on in to Speedvision's Dream Car Garage, where we take a project car, tear it down to bare metal, and rebuild a faster, more powerful vehicle of speed. That's Dream Car Garage every Wednesday night at 8:30 Eastern.
Much has been made of Derek Bell's historic sports car career. These days, the 59-year-old legend continues to adjust to Audi's S4 Quattro.
I mean, I'd never driven an Audi Quattro in my life, apart from on the road. Getting into it this year, to try and be very competitive, with the cars we've been up against, which have been very competitive. I mean, you're pushing the car like crazy, and you realize that it's actually not that easy to drive, and it has a very special style of driving that you have to put into driving a quattro.
For Bell, the development and understanding of the Audi has been a gradual process.
I think everybody expected us as Audi USA to come in and sort of set the world alight. During the winter, we developed the car a little bit. We didn't do enough, in my opinion. We never ran the car the whole year until the week before Texas, the first race. So as the seasons progressed, I had those early hiccups because we were still developing the car, and here we're running as quick as we did last year. So I guess we're getting there.
In Atlanta, Bell's focus is on helping his teammate win the championship.
The ideal situation would be for me to have a good start from the second row and be in front of PD for a couple of laps, just sort of rub him down a little bit. I'm not going to be stupid and cause any incidents, but I mean, I'm the one in a way that could call a lot of tunes tomorrow, because I'm not in it for the championship, I'm in it for Michael's championship. So we'll see how we get on.
Of one thing there can be no doubt, he and Galati get on very, very well. They become very fast friends. Pace car is in. We'll be starting lap 10. When we go back to green, Cunningham bringing him up slow.
Yeah, you know why? Because he will judge the NSX's advantage and try and take advantage of it. But you know what? I think Galati's a bit of a surprise here, trying to go down the outside of P.D. Cunningham into turn 1. Oh, look at McClure outside D. Bell.
Trying with it, staying with it. It gives him the inside into 3 if he can hang on to it. Bell takes it back. So McClure 4th, McMillin 5th, Van Overbeck 6th at this day. Oh, look at Justin Jackson. Van Overbeck underneath Jackson and picks the spot up. Jackson fought back, but Van Overbeck made it stick. And now we're on board with Jimmy Adams, 20th start in World Challenge, and he has shown to be one of the big players this year. And up through turn 5, great onboard angle through the S's. He got a run on Jackson, but I don't know he's going to be able to take much advantage of it.
Down the back straight here, this is the double apex right-hander. Look at this, moves to the right side to protect that inside line. Hold on to that position. Adams is right there.
Look at the move by Jackson, but he goes in too hot. Runs wide. Van Overbeck cuts underneath. Nice counter punch back in the spot. And that might give Adams enough mojo here to motor on by Justin Jackson, because that's the thing about making the pass in 7. Too much speed in, you're slow out. You got a mile of flat out running you got to get to.
The key to road racing is slow in, fast out. However, when you try to make a move, you have to do things like that. That was just a little bit faster than he wanted. He needs to get inside him and stay inside. He went inside and went past him too quickly.
At least he's able to continue to keep Adams behind him here and stay fairly close to Van Overbeck, so not a bad recovery. And the big interesting thing here is Fitzgerald has dropped behind Adams now and has fallen at the back of his pack. And Dave Farmer, in a well-used, well-bondoed and taped vet, is starting to show his nose as one of the players here.
A lot of work by Farmer to rebuild that Corvette after his crash, which is on top of the hill here. David Farmer lost it right here, hit the wall backwards. A lot of midnight oil burnt to get that car back onto the racetrack.
Back on board McMillin. Remember, he started in 4th, one of his better qualifying efforts of the season. Sits in the 5th spot now, right behind McClure. And McClure, he has really played an amazing role this year in terms of the Corvette drivers. He's allowed his car with both of them getting squirrely in 5, done a lot of aero work, gone to wind tunnels, really tried to help bring the vet back to a position of prominence. It's frankly been struggling a little bit.
It really has. Big American V8, but Jeff McMillin, the car we're on board with now, might have one of the nicest presented and best prepared racing cars in this series. Brand new red BMW right there, middle of the screen behind Phil McClure. But Jeff McMillin hasn't quite had the, well, he hasn't had the aggression, let's say, or the podium finishes that he enjoyed last year.
He had some consistency problems. You're absolutely right. He hasn't been able to string them together like he did. Look at this now. There's Jackson this time getting the pass done, or attempting it, down at the end of the long straight underneath Van Overbeck. Jackson slides through, takes the spot away from Van Overbeck, and McMillin got a good run on McClure right in front of them.
Greg, this is good stuff. Yeah, this is good stuff here with Justin Jackson. We watch this thing unfold here. Van Overbeck, I don't believe he's still happy with the handling of that car. Has battled it all weekend long here. Look at the contact made by Jackson. Dent on the front of the bumper there on his 911.
Little wrinkle right behind him is Van Overbeck. And Adams looks like he may be exploring a move on Van Overbeek. We'll see if that unfolds. And McClure has actually opened it up. We're on board McClure now, looking back at McMillin.
This is the great downhill run here. This plunge is severely downhill. The speed increases. Then you jump on the brakes and bang through this little left-hander here and over the curbs.
Look at McMillin, the momentum out of the turn, but there's American Grunt, folks. We'll be right back.
Should you decide to accept it, is to find the best ultra-high-performance tire in the world for handling, traction, styling, and above all, performance. You have 24 hours to complete the mission. This tape will now self-destruct. Good luck.
So what do you want to do for the next 23 hours and 59 minutes?
Proxys from Toyo. Because you have better things to do with your time than shop for tires.
With NASCAR on Speedvision, you don't just get inside of their cars, you get inside their heads. Lock on a NASCAR on Speedvision and you won't get left behind. Relive the last laps and meet the winners on NASCAR Victory Lane. Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Welcome back to Road Atlanta, on board with Jeff McMillin as he sits in the 5th spot right now. The J.J. Snacks John Hancock BMW, that's the E46, and it is a very well turned out car, but so far hasn't been able to figure out what to do with McClure, but maybe he did here. Use some BMW brakes.
Wow, I mean, that was a surprise. They're very even on power as they got to the brake zone, but Jeff McMillin, when he pulled down to the inside, I mean, he pretty easily went down inside McClure, and Jackson trying to force the issue here. This is difficult. This is hard to do it here.
McClure let him through, and it hurt McClure because here comes Van Overbeek.
The reason it's difficult to do it there because it's almost an off-camber double apex right-hander that plunges downhill, so you have to make the move and get it done before turn 12, which Jackson did.
On board Adams watching, and Adams looking to slice up the inside of McClure. When McClure left him open, I mean, he couldn't get turned back to the apex. That killed his exit out of 12.
Look at Adams crisscrosses over the back of the Corvette. This is the S's downhill again. Adams just looking for a way by here.
So tough to pass, though, in this section of track. There's because of the constant direction change.
On board now with Phil looking back at Jimmy Adams. There again is where all the cars just crash over the top of the curbs onto that little slip road of the club circuit. Ooh, look, see the braking again. The brake, they're on the limit so much here. When you get on the brakes, particularly on these rear-wheel drive cars, if you lock up the rears, you begin to fishtail. You got to control it and then turn down to the apex.
And in the Porsche's case, all that engine weight right over the wheels when that centrifugal force, I would think, gets loose. You got to be very, very careful in reining it back in.
Meanwhile, Cunningham continues to lead Galati, but the fight is here in the back, further back through the pack. There goes Cunningham.
Whoa! Mark Dixon, that, I believe, is over turn 6, and Alain Chabert. That's actually the exit of 7, I think, and they've gotten together. Chabert continues. Dixon, you can see he's trying to get restarted and see what happened.
Oh, Dixon misjudges it right into the back of him. Both spin. And then secondary contact.
Meanwhile, Justin Marks is in trouble.
Tom Sadler, Justin Marks, his crew chief here. This rookie award can still go your way. He's really trying hard.
We've got to finish in front of Bob and put a few spots in between him and us. It's coming right down the wire, and we've got the rear bumper fascia dragging behind the car now, and it's had a tough life.
Has he said anything to you?
Excuse me?
Has he spoken to you at all?
He's doing fine. He said he didn't make any contact with anybody. I think the bumper's just given up.
Let's hope he doesn't. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Speaking of giving up, Dixon, you can see the vet crabbing there, and he's finally pulled off.
Yeah, obviously the contact, I think that's the secondary contact that did that type of damage with Chabert, but Dixon over for the day.
Meanwhile, we go on board with your leader, Peter Cunningham. 11 of 27 laps done, approaching halfway here at Road Atlanta, and Cunningham continues out front.
Mike and Ben have Ultimate TV from Microsoft, so on Sundays their place is Party Central.
Protect your bishop.
They can watch and record 2 channels at once.
Hit pause. Go to the other one.
So they don't miss any of the madness and mayhem.
Did you see you put the king in jeopardy?
They can even do replays in slow-mo.
See, now he's touched his piece. Once you touch your piece, you got to use it.
The DirecTV receiver with Ultimate TV. It also works with football.
You know, you don't have to be alone.
As the nights get colder, we know how to warm you up.
Please, just pick up the phone.
It will be time well spent. Just you and me, together.
For the hottest, adult-only conversation. Don't be all alone when you can be together with us. Call 1-800-500-TALK. Just $1.99 per minute minimum.
Lisa?
Tom,
Nice to meet you. I got a little held up at work.
where's that?
LA. Introducing the 260 horsepower Acura TL Type S.
Which of these tires will stop faster? Actually, they stopped about the same. In almost any test you can think of, Toyo tires stand up against the best in the world.
More on that top story at 11. And in local news, while cleaning up an abandoned lot on the corner of 3rd and Washington, a group of high school students stumbled upon a major archaeological find. It appears the kids from Killian High discovered the remains of a family of woolly mammoths. The surprised student said it looks like they're not sure they're going to get a better cleaning now. Archaeologists hope the well-preserved bones will shed new light on PlayStation.
The Speedvision GT Championship is brought to you by Toyo Tires. On the road or on the track, Toyo Proxys radials deliver quality second to none for uncompromised performance. Toyo Tires, driven to perform.
Welcome back to Road Atlanta. We are approaching halfway. We're on board with Jimmy Adams, and he is chasing McClure, and he got a run now onto the brakes down the inside. McClure fights tough and makes the move and fends him off. That was a great move by McClure.
And it was a great run by Jimmy Adams to come down the inside. I didn't expect him to come down that fast, but these two boys are in lockstep here trying to get that position.
On board Adams again. There's McClure up front, down into turn 1. Extremely fast corner here. Drops down, car kind of falls away from you, it feels like, and then when you start to climb, you actually pick up some grip, and it takes a lot of faith to just pitch the car in and know you're going to have grip at the exit, and Adams executes it beautifully. Oh, look at this look here. McClure looking back at Adams, and the whites of his eyes almost. It is very close, dropping down through the S's right now.
Big variation, Greg, in qualifying between these two cars. Remember, Jimmy Adams all the way back in 13th starting position. Phil McClure started in 5th. So it's a good run here for Adams, and McClure now doing all he can to stay ahead and fend him off.
There's the downshift. You can hear it. Let's just listen in for a sec here.
Remember, earlier in the season, these two boys had a fair bit of contact. They're still friends, I think. Well, Phil McClure's a friend of everybody's. He's that type of guy.
Well, remember, I mean, he won in a drawing, a Porsche 911. He could take that or 50 grand. He took the 50 grand and donated it to the Rainbow Charities. He's just that type of person. He's also a great competitor. As you can see, he's got to be to fend off Jimmy Adams, who has been persistence personified here. Not able to do anything with McClure yet.
Yeah, the Porsche seems to be quick out of that chicane, so he gets a good burst of acceleration to go up that hill, and then it doesn't quite have the legs, and you see here how hard he tries, sticking up more, kicking up more of the red clay. But when you get to about 100 miles an hour, the Porsche doesn't quite have the legs.
Look at this battle here. This is for 14th. That's Paul Brown, a last-minute sub in the 08 Vette, and Cooper driving the old ZR1, the ZR1. And look at this battle here. Brown, he came, I mean, he started dead last, 26. And look at Cooper come right back at him again.
That's what you get when you make the pass. If you can't make it stick, if you drift a little bit too wide, it gives the man you've just passed an option to straighten the car and get on the power earlier. It's exactly what we see here.
Cooper qualified 17th. Brown
and now
started
Brown
26th.
again.
Brown down the inside. This is a great drive by Paul Brown in that Hallmark Vette.
Look, slides as wide as he can, almost to the curb, which is a dangerous place to go at turn 1 because of the high speed and the drift. But he pulls it off nicely, does Paul Brown, all the way from the back of the grid.
This is a great story. Both these guys, of course, in previous seasons have often been full season regulars running very abbreviated seasons this year, and have obviously lost nothing in terms of the competitive fire and have been putting on a great battle here. Again, this battle for 14th. Brown has opened it up a little bit over Cooper now.
Yeah, Bill Cooper. Whoa, locks up those rear brakes and he hangs on. Nice piece of car control. I'm not sure he was confident he was going to pull that off. But you know what? He's not comfortable yet. Bill Cooper gets side by side.
Side by side, Brown and Cooper. Well, two Vettes, two different engines. Let's see which works.
Yeah, locked up the rear brakes did Paul Brown. He has the inside line now as you go downhill to the brake zone for the chicane. So is he comfortable with the brakes? He brakes late, almost a full car length later than Cooper, and Cooper still locks up a left front brake.
Both wiggle just a little bit. And Cooper is slowing down. Oh, Cooper's slowing down.
We thought Paul Brown was the one that might have been in a tiny bit of trouble, but in fact it is Bill Cooper. Well, he's not going to make it to the pit lane, can he?
I don't know. I wonder if he broke something in the drive line.
Downhill run here.
On that downshift, maybe into...
Didn't even go to the pit lane, look. Why did he bypass the pit lane?
Either of them.
Very strange.
Yeah, down through 12. Now pulls off to the... Now he's going to pull over and park over there.
Why did he not go to the pit lane?
Good question, I think. Meanwhile, back on board, Jimmy Adams here as that battle continues. Here's a look at our top 5 after 19 of the 27 laps, and Adams sits in 8th.
Back on track, our number 7 BMW is now leading the GT category. So Morrison Hatch.
Plastic is anything we ask it to be. On the job, it's our helping hand, for safety's sake in our working lives, and forever evolving before our eyes. It's in the airbag that protects us, and a cell phone to connect us, an answer when we need it most. Plastic carries our hopes, letting us all look forward to a safer, more brilliant tomorrow. Plastics make it possible.
The essence of performance. Speed, traction, control. Or is it exceeding your own expectations? High performance, passenger, and truck tires. World-class quality and value. Kumho, way to go.
This programming is brought to you in part by fees paid by your local cable company.
Bob Miller and the At-Speed Motorsports team broke into the Speedvision GT Championship this year with a brand new Porsche 911 Cup car.
We found that as a race car, Porsche is unmatched in terms of quality. And as a young team, I mean, our experience level is so far below everyone else we're battling with, so we needed a car that was already prepared for us and that we could go out and take and learn with and run, but we didn't have to develop at all.
Miller has spent his first rookie season battling fellow Porsche driver Justin Marks for that rookie title.
My goal was to win Rookie of the Year when we entered. It was our strategy to win it for this year. For me, it's a launching point. As a rookie, literally, I have no experience in comparison to some of these other guys, but we're going to use it personally as a launching point to the next step, whatever that may be.
The 36-year-old Virginian currently leads in that title chase and will stick to the strategy that got him there.
We always go out to win the race. I keep my nose clean, and I let a lot of the race come to me. We're going to keep doing exactly what we've been doing all year long and just try to finish it and finish well and finish competitively and finish cleanly.
Well, Derek, as you said, it has worked very well for him. We are on board, as a matter of fact, with Miller currently running in the 13th spot and in position to perhaps clinch that championship. That would mean so much to him.
I think that was an interesting point he made as we watched P.D. Cunningham continue to lead here. He didn't want a car he needed to develop. Derek Belbit, oh, somebody else off.
That's Trip Goolsby's. That's at the exit of turn 1. He's, well, he's up to the axle, I think, and gravel over there. Okay, half shaft.
Exactly, but I just wanted to mention, Derek Bell, remember, told us earlier on, they had to develop the Audi to be as fast as it is, whereas the Porsche was already fast right off the top.
It's very quick. Now, this is Hank Cohn, Walter Swick. This is the battle for the 15th spot right now. Through 6, now into turn 7 here. And going for the throttle. And, oh, there's some debris right there. They just went by. A little bit of debris, and that's pretty close to right on line. I mean, if somebody came out side by side, that could be the problem. Now, here's maybe the source of it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Farmer, who spent most of the day, or most of a couple of days, rebuilding that car. Obviously, the tank tape, the race tape, the duct tape didn't quite get used underneath it.
Cohn and Swick continue their battle. Cohn going awfully deep into 10. And Swick able to duck underneath. Boy, when Farmer let go of that, it wasn't so much it fell off as disgorged it almost.
Yeah, but a lot of work by David Farmer just to get that car on the grid. You can see the battle scars from the crash of a couple of days ago.
That's when the concept team sport takes on such meaning that he and the guys on the crew all had to jump in and make that happen. Meanwhile, back on board Adams as he chases McClure, who in turn chases Van Overbeck. And that has been a great battle. It's maybe accordioned a little bit at times, but these three have pretty much always been there. Here comes Adams again, hits that bump, but it doesn't upset. Look at him.
Oh, he wouldn't make it.
In the grass.
You see what happened there? He makes the lunge of the brake zone, pulls it off, then has to go over the curb, but over the top of the hill where the Porsche was strong, they are still side by side. Down the hill, Greg, they are still side by side through turn 12.
And at the exit of 12, a big wobble by Adams, and that's going to cost him the momentum. Brilliant save. Boy, now that
was a great save by Jimmy Adams, because not only was he offline, but he had to get it sideways and stay in the power, and he just lost about half a car length, and that was enough for McClure to take that position back.
Pretty good bravado for McClure too at the apex at 12 to be able to not get to the apex and be able to will it out around the outside of 12.
What a fight here though by Jimmy Adams trying to get by Phil McClure.
And of course, that little exchange has allowed, you can just barely see him up there now. Van Overbeck gets that margin back, and that's what I meant by the accordion. These two start this kind of battling. Van Overbeck eases away. When they start racing, just going fast, they start to reel him in again, but then this starts all over again.
You know, don't be surprised if Jimmy Adams takes another big lunge at Phil McClure. The Porsche in the braking zone seems to be at least able to draw up alongside McClure.
Maybe Van Overbeck's actually lifting off because he wants to see the battle in the mirror.
Yeah, and it is hectic.
Let's watch for it. Adams now tucked right in behind McClure. He didn't get out of 7 as well as he did the previous lap, so he's not, I don't think, going to be able to do much with McClure here. There's that bump, and It isn't so bad online. You get down the middle of that approach at a 10, that bump is really, really drastic.
Yeah, it is bad. Here's the advantage here, just a tiny bit with the 911 up the top of the hill. And from here down, it's pretty even. And if anything, there's a certain part of this front straight that American V8 grunt just draws out about a half a car length. Enough to say to Jimmy Adams, you're not close enough, don't take a risk here.
By the way, we just got a report from Andrew down the pits. A clutch is what took Bill Cooper out.
Ah, okay. Still don't know why he didn't drive to the pits.
Had to know that pretty much immediately.
Over the curb by Phil McClure, not in the dirt, just kiss the curb. Look, Van Overbeek is still right there.
Yeah, they've reeled him back in. That's what I mean. When they're not duking it out with each other, they immediately reel Van Overbeek in. But when they get there, then McClure, it's the old deal. You can run fast, but when you catch somebody, suddenly you're running at their speed. Here comes Adams, and they start their battle anew, and then Van Overbeek draws away a little bit.
Did Adams go on the grass right there? I think he did.
Sure looked like it.
I think he went on the curb.
Not the first time.
Then used the blacktop, and I think he put two wheels on the grass. Jason McClure.
He's been driving that Porsche about anywhere he has to try and stay with McClure and make the move. We're closing in on the final few laps. We'll be right back to Road Atlanta.
Hey, what's up? I just ordered Total Choice Platinum from DirecTV. Now I get over 160 channels. More than 30 premium movie channels, including HBO, Stars, and Showtime. Plus over 20 specialty and regional sports networks. All for one great monthly price. Total Choice Platinum is the best DirecTV experience for the best value. Just call 1-800-DirecTV. You only live once, why miss a single channel?
Total Choice Platinum, better than a breath of fresh air.
The Slocums have lived here forever, but one of them has gone. Now, 3 generations of family have come together.
Are you in there? Can you hear me?
No, Mama! To pay their respects.
Can everybody say, yay, man?
LL Cool J and Whoopi Goldberg. Kingdom Come.
This month on Blockbuster Ticket, only on DirecTV.
See what's new in cars for 2002 on Auto Week. Get up-to-date consumer reports, futuristic concept cars, and an inside look at the world's best auto shows on Speedvision. That's Auto Week every Friday night at 7 Eastern.
Same old, same old. I'm going driving.
What a Porsche has always been.
Welcome back to Road Atlanta. Peter Cunningham down the hill through turn 12. 2 laps to go right now as he crosses the stripe. There is Galati behind him. That's the battle for the championship, and it'll certainly go to Galati at this stage. He needed to finish only 13th or better. He sits a very competitive second. Behind them, mirroring his best finish of the season in the race 2 days ago, the 9th round of the championship, is Bell. We're on board with Galati. Up, this is turn 3. Now the drop down of the S's, coming up to turn 4.
And you see the big advantage P.D. Cunningham has, all because of that one vital, aggressive move that he made right before the end of that opening lap to put himself ahead of Galati. And look at it, I mean, it just gives you such a huge advantage at a place like Road Atlanta when these cars are so evenly matched.
Well, he's done everything he had to do. He had to win, he had to lead every lap, and would therefore also get the point for leading a lap. He's done that, but Galati has played this to perfection. It got rough. Go ahead, Peter, make the pass. I'll stay right behind you. And, of course, Bell, being the consummate teammate, has not really even tried to hound Galati. The only time he passed it was when they had that incident.
I remember one of the bonuses, I believe, for Galati. Doesn't he get a run in the Audi R8 P car if he wins this championship?
That is true. As a matter of fact, during our coverage of the Petit Le Mans, I asked Len Hunt about that, and I said, if he wins the championship and Audi gets the manufacturer's title, doesn't he get the right? And Hunt said, well, I'm the one who promised it to him, so I guess I better carry through on it.
Okay, that will be a real big day for Michael Galati to step into that type of horsepower and that type of handling.
And I think he will acquit himself quite well. I think he's a remarkably talented, maybe underestimated driver. White flag, 1 lap to go. Another win perhaps for Cunningham. Another championship perhaps for Galati. First in GT certainly, but he's got 3 in the touring division, and he would be the only driver who won more than 3 championships in World Challenge competition. Pretty remarkable run. And of course, if Petey hangs on, he extends his record. Every time he wins, he extends the record for career wins.
And I don't know whether it's an irony or not, but Michael Galati's championships were won in real-time racing cars, owned and run by Peter Cunningham. On board now with Derek Bell. There is some new telemetry we're going to look at for you. See the little triangle on the right side? That is the brakes. When he gets on the brakes, see the revs, only around 6.5, 6.9, 7. Not a high revving car, but turbocharged. 125 miles an hour almost on that short run down to the very, very end of the racetrack. Derek Bell is in 3rd place, another good potential podium position. A great weekend here all round for Derek Bell. By far the most successful weekend he has had this season, and maybe for a few seasons.
Well, he mentioned getting to learn how to drive the car, but also I think they finally got the car set up. Look at the MPH here. Speed 150, 153, 154. Then hard on the binders down into 10. Now, in the past, when the dip was there, that may have gone right up to 160 as they dropped into the dip. Last time through the chicane for Derek Bell. Meanwhile, Peter Cunningham down through turn 12. And Peter Cunningham, this will be his 5th win of the season, but right behind him comes Galati, and that will be Galati's 4th championship. As you said, his first 2 championships earned in real-time racing cars, his 3rd one in touring car with his own team, and now his 4th with Audi, and that should clinch the championship for Audi. So double bonus here, in Galati celebrating. He is not only a great driver, he enjoys it. He wears his emotion on his sleeve. We'll talk to him when we come back.
Uh-oh. Wasn't speeding, was I? Should I pull over? But I haven't done anything. Why am I feeling so guilty? I didn't stop at that stop sign. Wait, there was no stop sign. Oh no, that parking ticket. Wait, I paid that.
Great car.
Oh, phew. Now what?
Really great car.
The only way for exciting to drive or not to notice.
Racing has evolved. Connecticut, rated T for T.
On the track or on the road, the hottest cars all have one thing in common. They all ride on Forge Line wheels. Call now for our free brochure featuring our all-new 18-inch 3-piece wheel. Forge Line wheels, whether you're turning hot laps or just turning heads. Call now for factory direct prices.
Now hear this. Need to know what to watch on Speedvision? Log on to speedvision.com. Find the latest daily, weekly, and monthly program schedules from the world of speed. Get the inside line anytime. Log on to speedvision.com.
The Speedvision GT Championship has been brought to you by Forge Line. Competition crafted, street smart.
Well, Michael, the arm punch is getting traditional now, and the first person that came and congratulated you was Peter Cunningham.
I tell you, he drove a good race. He got inside me at turn 10, the first lap. You know, I don't want to argue with him. You know, he was bad on the braking, and after that, I would just try to keep my concentrated, try to follow him, push him pretty hard to see if he could make a mistake. But, you know, we had nothing for him. I know what I had to do. But it was a great race.
It's your first GT title after lots of touring car titles. Is this the sweetest?
Well, each one is different. But this is sweet because, you know, after last year and the anniversary we had this year, I mean, to come back and finish this way, I mean, after Laguna Seca, it's just great to the guys, the team of champion guys. And thanks Audi, Rabbi Master Len Hunt, Walter Swick, everybody's here. I mean, this is for everybody, all the guys. It's fantastic.
Time to celebrate. Well done, Michael.
Celebrate indeed. In the background, I think D. Bell taking a little bit of rest on the hood of the car. Cunningham gets the win. Galati the championship. Bell, McMillin, another good run. Jackson, Van Overbeck, McClure, Adams. That whole battle was phenomenal. Fitzgerald watched it. Farmer with that damaged car had a good run. Maybe one of the big stories here is Paul Brown up to 14th. I'm just jumping in the car in the end, and Boris said another non-finish essentially.
Another non-finish. We've seen that too many times, but you mentioned Paul Brown. That really was an excellent run, and he was spectacular. I'm glad we got to see some of it.
Let's go back down to Andrew with our winner.
Well, Peter, you did everything you could do, but it just wasn't enough to win that title.
Yeah, we said before we came down here that no matter what happens this weekend, that it was a really good year for the whole RealTime team. And it was nice and sweet, just like Michael said, that for us to be able to at least be competitive here at the last race, win the last race, lead all the laps, and not allow them to get away at the start. So certainly all our sponsors, Vortex, Superchargers, Redline Oil, all these guys that have been with us all year, the Acura NSX, Andrew Armistead and the RealTime crew, it's really about them, and I'm just a lucky guy.
Lucky indeed. Take a look at the final championship standings. Galati wins it by 12. Van Overbeck, Fitzgerald, McMillin further back. Wanted to make a comment. Petey said he's a lucky guy, but he makes his own lucky. Thanks to that RealTime crew all the time with good reason. They swept every pole position here at the doubleheader, both touring and in the GT category. Let's go back down to Andrew with Derek Bell on the podium again.
Well, Derek, Michael did it, and I think you're really happy about that.
I'm over the moon for him. You know, he's worked hard. He deserves much better than Speedvision GT. He should be something in really, really top, you know, sort of international racing. But he'll get there one day. I'm 60 and I'm still plugging around there. I'm on the way down, and hopefully he's still storming up.
But another podium finish and a great way to finish this season.
Well, I'm delighted, obviously. I mean, the guys have done so much work this week, the champion guys, working very, very hard, you know, till 5:30 in the morning, and they deserve all the credit for this. I mean, we're just the icing on the cake. If they give us a car, we can do the job.
I think you told me earlier, Derek Bell is not retiring.
Well, not unless they throw me out. If Rod Bymaster gets rid of me, then I won't be bothered about anything else. But I hope we can do another year.
Well done. Great performance this weekend, Derek.
Thanks.
Great performance by the entire champion squad. Let's take a look at the rookie points, and Bob Miller, boy, not much closer. 3 points.
3 points. That's impressive. Remember, this is his rookie year in a car that he didn't really know, but it's been reliable, and that's the key to winning championships.
And made it work. He's champion, and he is with Andrew.
You won the rookie award. You must be delighted with that.
We are. I'd say we're going to Disney World, but we're not. Just want to thank ROGAINE and ASG and DirectPC and all of our sponsors. We had a long year. It was a hard year, and it came down to only a couple points, but we pulled it out at the end. The Porsche was fantastic. Our crew has worked so hard, you just don't know. So this is what we said we wanted to do when we came in, and we pulled it off. So it's just a fantastic day for everybody.
And an equally close battle was that for the manufacturer points. Audi ekes it out by 1 over Acura, Porsche 4 points back, then BMW, then Chevrolet. And speaking of Chevy, their banner carrier is also our ROGAINE winner. He was embroiled in a great battle, and he's with Andrew.
Bill, the ROGAINE Hair Racing Pass award goes to you. You took Jimmy Adams. Great move. Talk about it.
Jimmy and I have been battling all weekend, and I got into him real bad Friday coming into 10A. I hit him real hard, knocked him off the track. I know they worked real hard Saturday getting his car put back together, as did my crew, and he and I have been battling each other all year. Every track we went to, we seemed to run with each other, and today was no exception. It was just a blast.
Happy to get that award. You ought to take your hat off, see if you need that ROGAINE.
No,
he doesn't.
Not yet, but it's still early.
Preventative medicine is also always a good thing. Now, we talked about Jimmy Adams. What a run he had. He's with Andrew because he's won the Borla Award.
Jimmy Adams, winner of the Borla Performance Award. And I saw you have a huge moment down here about 2/3 of the way through the race.
Which one? I had a couple of big moments. 1 in 12 going side by side with Phil McClure in the Corvette, and another one I almost went off big time up the hill in turn 1. But wow, what a race!
Now, you had a good race there, didn't you, Phil?
Yeah, he and I were really going at it, hammering tongs, all chasing Johannes Van Everbeck. We're all in a really tight group there, and I tell you, I drove on the curb, I drove on the grass, I drove everywhere, and I couldn't get around him.
Is this your favorite track?
I tell you, this might drop to the bottom of the list. This was the worst I've ever qualified, and I've never worked that hard in my life for 9th place or whatever it was.
Jimmy, the plan for 2002?
Well, we're making our plans for 2002. Hope to be back and be stronger.
Well, Phil's over there. I think you ought to just embrace each other.
Well, Derek, that, of course, wraps up the season here, and we've had some great battles back in the pack, but really up front, it was down to 2 guys.
It was, but it was a remarkably close season fight when you see as fewer points as there are separating the top 3 manufacturers. And as you watch the NSX slide down, remember, they lost the championship by 1 point, but they were champions with that car in 97 and 98. It's always potent.
Always very strong indeed. We want to thank you, of course, for joining us all season. We're not done yet. The 2000 year in racing for the GT Championship is Thursday, December 20th, 1 week after the touring show at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Please join us. Meanwhile, Speedvision.com, always a good source for information. For Derek Daly and Andrew Marriott, I'm Greg Creamer. Thanks for joining us this season.